This is a Tesla Model Y, and I had a go at installing PPF yesterday for the first time. So on the Tesla Model Y from the factory, they do have this piece of PPF here on the rear wheel arch, because the front wheel there is throwing up dirt, and this does protrude, and this does suffer from chips from the dirt and stones and things like that. But what I've done is bought a kit where I've covered the rest of the lower part of the door, but this strip here did continue all the way across this, so I've cut it down there, so the two pieces of PPF join. I didn't want to remove this or cut the factory one, because this bit does offer better protection than the strip. It's just a shame that the factory PPF is a different colour to the PPF I've installed. This has got more of a sort of milky finish, whereas this was completely clear, but when they're on the car there's two shades of white there. But anyway, it's going to be covered in dirt very soon, so really wouldn't notice. But I'm quite pleased with the results, seeing it's the first time I've installed PPF, and it was very cold as well. It was quite difficult to manipulate because the film was cold. And I also installed a little bit here which wasn't part of the kit, but that came from the cut-off from the end, and then I stuck it on there and trimmed that with a knife. So yeah, I'm very pleased with the results. If I'm being super picky, just around the edge it's not sticking particularly well, but again that was because it was cold. So I might get the heat gun on there and see if I can push that back down again, but I only did it last night. There's a little bit there that's not quite sticking properly, but it wasn't the right weather really. It was 4 degrees when I was doing this, and obviously, as you know, plastic gets very hard and not very pliable when it's cold. In the kit as well, I also bought a piece that was to go along here, which I did try first and I gave up. The bit that was cut had too much of a curve in it, like a smiley face curve, whereas this is actually quite flat and it just wasn't fitting, so I gave up on that one. I also bought mirror cap PPF pieces, which I've done this one, and god, that was difficult. Again, I think it was because it was cold, but when I put this corner on, the film was up here by a good inch, and that was really hard to stretch it down, and it's not stretched down all the way, so it's not a perfect job, and there's a couple of tiny little creases in the film there. That's just where I was stretching it. I had the hot air gun on it and I had to get it really soft, and it just wasn't stretching enough. So I haven't done the driver's side mirror. I've left this on because this is the mirror that's going to hit hedgerows and things. So that will do for now, but maybe I will have another go at doing this in the future. But I probably won't buy the pre-cut PPF. I'll just buy a sheet and stretch it over and then just trim it to suit, because this pre-cut one really was too small. But again, for my first attempt at doing this in the cold, I don't think I did a bad job. The next job is to do the front bumper, and that's primarily what I wanted to do while the vehicle was relatively new, is to get that front bumper protected, because that's where the majority of the wear and tear is going to come. And I've got the pre-cut piece, but I think it's just too cold to attempt to do that at the moment, so that might have to wait until the spring, which would be a shame because there might be paint damage on that bumper by then, but the weather's just too cold to attempt to do it, and the workshop's not heated. So I think I'm going to have to wait until it warms up to do that, because if I try now I'll only ruin it and end up throwing it all in the bin. But anyway, there's obviously an art to installing PPF, and when you're doing complicated shapes, for example these mirror caps, yeah, it wasn't particularly easy and it was a bit frustrating, but doing flat bits like the bottom of the doors, that was relatively simple. And if you're thinking about PPF for your car and just want to do these key areas, then have a go. It's not too difficult at all. You can make up the slip solution and tack solution yourself, and the tools, you just need a squeegee, so you can buy them on AliExpress for 3 or 4 quid or so. So I'll put a link in the video description below where I bought these bits from, these PPF pre-cut items, and they do PPF for all cars, and it's in the UK, and it's supposedly high quality German film, but I haven't checked that out myself. But anyway, that's what someone told me, and I found the prices to be as good as Chinese stuff on AliExpress as well. So that will do for this video, just to show you that I've had a go at installing PPF for the first time myself, and yeah, I don't think I did too bad a job considering it's winter and it's cold. And I'll update you in the future when I have a go at doing the front bumper, because that will be a challenge. There's a lot of curves on there and it's a big piece to do all in one go, one piece. Anyway, that will do for this video. If you found it useful, please do click the thumbs up, that really does help. Do subscribe to the channel. If you want to know more about the Tesla Model Y, I'll put a link to a playlist in the video description where you can see other videos. Not that there's many yet, but plenty will be coming soon. And I'll see you on the next one.